The year 1917 witnessed a cataclysmic transformation in Russia. The Russian Revolution, marked by social, political, and economic upheaval, had profound ramifications on the country's military forces. This article delves into the factors that led to the death of the Russian army in 1917, ultimately culminating in its collapse. Revolutionary unrest and discontent. The Russian Empire was beset by discontent among both soldiers and civilians. Disastrous military losses, food shortages, and widespread suffering contributed to the mounting revolutionary sentiment. February Revolution, shattering the chain of command. The February Revolution of 1917 dealt a severe blow to the existing order. Mass demonstrations and mutinies in Petrograd resulted in the abdication of Tsar Nicholas, dismantling the traditional chain of command. Soviet influence, dual power structures. The emergence of Soviet councils in major cities created a parallel power structure alongside the provisional government. This duality often led to conflicting orders and eroded the authority of military leaders. Fractured loyalties, soldiers' committees, and political agendas. Soldiers' committees, composed of elected representatives, began to exert influence within the army. These committees, initially formed to address grievances, soon became politicized, aligning themselves with various political factions. Deteriorating morale and discipline. The combination of revolutionary fervor, disillusionment, and lack of effective leadership resulted in a decline in military discipline. Soldiers' allegiance to the army and their officers waned, leading to a breakdown in order. Bread riots in the Petrograd garrison. The Petrograd garrison, historically considered a staunch supporter of the regime, became a focal point of revolutionary activity. Its involvement in bread riots and its ultimate alignment with revolutionary forces further weakened the army's cohesion. Lenin's call for peace, bread, and land. Vladimir Lenin's rallying cry resonated deeply with the war-weary population and soldiers. The promise of an end to the war, coupled with the prospect of land redistribution, swayed many in favor of the Bolsheviks. The October Revolution, final blow to military order. The October Revolution, orchestrated by the Bolsheviks, solidified their control over key institutions, including the military. The establishment of the Red Guard, composed of revolutionary workers and soldiers, further undermined the authority of the Russian army. Brest-Litovsk Treaty, the formal end of the war for Russia. The Brest-Litovsk Treaty of March 1918, which effectively ended Russia's participation in World War I, formalized the disintegration of the Russian army. The treaty ceded significant territories to the Central Powers. The death of the Russian army in 1917 was a culmination of internal strife, revolutionary fervor, and political transformation. The erosion of discipline, fractured loyalties, and the emergence of dual power structures ultimately rendered the once mighty Russian army a mere shadow of its former self. The events of 1917 marked a turning point in Russian history and had profound implications for the trajectory of the Russian Revolution and the subsequent course of World War I.